Are you a busy bee like me? If you're a diabetic busy bee, I bet you don't know about all the things that were discussed at the American Diabetes Association's 80th scientific sessions. But I bet you'd like to know some of that information. Hi, I'm Donna, the Dynamic Diabetic, and today I want to talk about 8 things that were discussed at that meeting, and that virtual meeting, by the way, and what that means for you. And the first thing is, this is all what's new in diabetes technology. What's new out there in 2020? So the first thing is insulin delivery systems, okay? The automatic insulin delivery systems are developing continually. And specifically, they talked about the Medtronic aid system, the 780G hybrid closed loop system. But the important thing to note is that it increased the time in range from 7 to 10%, depending on a person's age, 70% with no hypoglycemic increase. So that was important. They changed the algorithm. It's lower based on 100 milligrams versus 120 milligrams. And they helped with active insulin time settings at 2 to 3 hours. So with those changes, they were able to have so much better results of time in range. So that was number one. Number two, very briefly, is Tandems Control Iq. That's real world data that showed time in range increase 2.4 hours a day with that system. And then they talked about children and whether an A1C test or the continuous glucose monitoring system, which would be better. So the CGM or the A1C. And it was pretty much agreed that the continuous glucose monitoring was more beneficial and more helpful to you parents out there of type 1 diabetics, especially the kids. For type 2 diabetics, how about the continuous glucose monitoring? There is good evidence that positive results are happening with type 2 using these systems. But the systems are still expensive, and so they're not available to all of us. Insurance is not covering for everyone. But the value of that continuous monitoring system for a type 2 diabetic is seeing in real time what's happening with your sugar and being able to make some adjustment and to see the trends and patterns in your eating that may be causing you sugar issues. So we're hoping that that comes around where all of us would have that available to us if we chose to use it. The next was they talked about the parents' perspective on do-it-yourself closed-loop insulin delivery systems for their kids. And parents were pretty united that there was an increase in emotional health for those kids. They had a sense of security, of normalcy. Their quality of life was better. They're beyond the home. They did better at school. They had more confidence in their caregivers. They had better quality sleep. And they were able to explore extracurricular activities without supervision. So that was pretty awesome. So the overall impression of parents was this was very beneficial. Number 6. Is technology the solution for hypoglycemia? Well, they think maybe it is. The continuous glucose monitoring helps detect patterns, and that would help you, especially patterns in hypoglycemia. What are you doing? What is causing that? Okay. The closed loop tech can also reduce and prevent reduce and prevent hypoglycemia, but the automatic insulin delivery systems, okay, they can completely eliminate hypoglycemia. How about that? You don't have to worry about those lows anymore. And number 7, the sooner a patient, type 1 patient, is on a continuous glucose monitoring device, the sooner doctors can actually use that to predict the progression of the disease. They can help control it better. And wonderful for children. Wonderful for children to help predict that progression and to help them be able to monitor. All of these technological advances are really changing how we're looking at diabetes. And last but not least, the insulin management system, software system you may know as Glucomander. It shows very positive results on keeping on your time in range, keeping you in range. An increase from 48% to 74%. Hyperglycemia dropped 19%. Hypoglycemia dropped 0.4%, which is not as much, but that means you're not having those dips as often. But it did require slightly more insulin to get those kind of results. So this is the first time that I have tried to give you Cliff Notes like this. And, I hope that all that made sense. I feel like I have not addressed my type 1 diabetics as much as my type 2, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you both information that's going to be beneficial. There was lots of other things discussed, by the way, at this event, but these were the big announcements. These were the big results, the big news, the big technology coming out for diabetes this year. So I will keep a watch on it, and any of those things you need to ask your doctor about, ask them. Ask them about a glucose monitoring system. Ask them about an automated insulin delivery. Question your doctor on what of these things might be beneficial for you. I hope that was good information for you today. I hope you learned something. I know I did. And I hope that you can use that information to help your diabetic journey be a little bit better. Please share this video. I always ask you to do that. I think it's important. I hope that you've subscribed to my channel by now. And I want to thank you again for being here. There again in the notes, there's information about my diabetic Facebook group, how to set a 30-minute appointment, free appointment with me, consultation, and my social media information is all there, including my diabetic minute every day. So please look at those things, check them out, see if some of that might be good for you. I hope so. This is Donna Denson, the Dynamic Diabetic, thanking you so much for being here. Hope I found you safe today. Hope I found you well. And I hope I found you always happy. God bless and keep you till we connect again. Bye-bye.